Hi, it's just about midnight. Hi, it's just about midnight Mountain Time, and we're 12 hours into the ST8 Sundowner, and it has been a busy 12 hours. Normally, we try to get up here before now and update everybody back home with how everybody's doing out here in the arena, but this has been a very busy arena. This 24-hour race especially is very exciting so far. The weather is terrible, but it's just enough to be miserable. We've had a nice start off, nice and cool, and it's kind of progressed to this evening to a real light mist that's just not fun to be out in. So it's good though. These team members that we're seeing, these solo competitors, they're still in high spirits and moving pretty strong. What you say?
I would. It's amazing how, despite the weather, despite the hardships of some of these scenarios they're having to do, that they just keep going.
Keep going with a smile.
With a smile, good attitude.
Yep.
Teamwork. Really amazing.
Yeah.
To watch how they come together and help their fellow racers.
Well, and that's kind of one of the most interesting part about the survival trial is that they're not they're competing to win. I mean, they're competing against these other competitors here, but we've seen more people, teams helping solos and vice versa than we've seen. I'm just trying to get ahead of you, and this is what I'm going to do. Yes. So that's nice to see. Well, where did we start out? We had some technical difficulties this morning trying to get the registration on live, and we fixed that since then. And our maps, we've also ran into some issues to start out with, and that was fixed. So everything that you see now on the Survival Trial website is accurate and live. And I myself, I mean, we are together as a creator, and that's on the map. So I don't know if you've seen us driving around here, but we've been all over the territory, both north and south arenas here, at least a couple of times. So that's a busy start to a 72-hour race, which is good. That's what we want. Our teams out here are active and they're moving, and we're getting to the dangerous time. This is a time where it's easy to quit. We actually had one team just quit, and that was Team DNR. And we're sending down our observer controller to retrieve them now. And they did very well. We're doing extremely well, moving and getting their navigation, especially, was very good.
This weather's demoralizing.
It is. Yep, it is. I think another thing that people don't really, it's kind of hard to fathom, is the amount of the real sheer distance that you cover. I mean, we can train and train and train, but when we get out, it seems that when we get out here, the reality doesn't really set in until 10 or 15 miles, carrying the weight with that constant repetition motion, impact with the ground, and the even the scenarios and obstacles we ask them to do here. Extremely physical.
And the fog and the low clouds made it hard to navigate, and this mist and this rain and everything combined has made it a challenge. But yet they keep going forward. Amazing.
Yep. So it's we are getting into night now. So we have the majority of our teams that are up north and doing extremely well. So we started here. We're actually in the center of the arena at our shotgun center at the NRA Whittington Center. And layout, we started right at noon, right on the dot, right on the money. And teams, I think it was 12:30 when we saw the first solos moving out. So
it took them a while to plot their points. And
yeah, but that's pretty fast. So I mean, to sit down and get their routes out and their location. So that was good to watch. But now we're getting to the point to where we're halfway done and the fatigue is starting to set in, and then nighttime is here. And night is a dangerous time. So we'll start our health and welfare here in probably 4 hours, about 4 a.m., 4 to 5, and see how everybody's doing through the night. It's going to get down into the low 40s tonight, or even high 30s.
Yeah, high 30s. It's going to be cold.
Yeah, and it doesn't show any signs of letting up with our mist right now. We're not really rain. It's just low clouds coming in, fog coming in. So we'll be out there checking them out. Right now, everybody else in the arena is doing very well. They're moving forward, negotiating scenarios. Majority of our scenarios, shooting scenarios, they incorporated Jake with them, so there's some sort of movement. We got to witness
Barrel Rider.
Yes, Barrel Rider. It's shooting scenario number 1, and that's was team slow motion and call sight and Farscape. Yeah, wow, that was very good. We got some good video of that one too, so we'll be putting that one together pretty quick because that's a shooting scenario where they had to engage with 2 firing positions with 7 targets with their sidearm at about, it was pretty close to 100-yard distance as far as the movements between the firing points. And then they transitioned to their shotgun, and then they had to engage 5 clay pigeons with their birdshot rounds. And then they, once we cleared them off, their part 2 was to evacuate the casualty, which is our Jakes. And we had 1 solo and 1 team, and we ran them at the same time. And that was really cool to watch because we had the teams helping out the solos there. That was pretty neat. But team slow motion, they had to drag their Jake up a pretty steep bank and dam that we were using here. And the solo, which was Farscape, his Jake was on the side, but that doesn't matter because that Jake's about 150, 160 pounds, so it's not light by any means. And we just have teams, so they have to move further, or we break it down with our scenario so everybody's individually doing the same things. Try to keep it as even and fair as we can. But they had to take the Jakes across the lake, and on a raft that we had constructed, 2 of them out of barrels. That's why we call it Barrel Rider. And the lake was deeper than what it looks like, and they ended up swimming for a good portion of the way, and it was a pretty long swim. And the Jakes stayed. They didn't go to the bottom, but they flipped around a little bit, but everything stayed afloat. So it was not warm. It wasn't even 50 degrees. Well,
I think the water was warmer than the air.
Yeah.
So when you got in, it felt a little warmer. But then you get out, that wind hit you.
Yeah, that was. I don't know. That would be a tough decision to make. But when we actually we transferred these teams down to that location. We're running another experiment with this trial with transfers. So what we'll do is flip the arena on the competitors when they sit down and plot their points. They have their routes laid out. We'll have them run for a period of time, and then we're going to transfer them to a whole separate portion of the arena. So it totally flips their plan. So they have to adjust and kind of first of all find out where they are, and then do the best they can with the time that they have to create a new plan, a new route. So that's what we did with DNR, Farscape, and slow motion, and they all 3 did very well with adapting to what they had, what was presented to them, and making the best out of it. Did very well with their scenarios, and so that was really neat to watch. What else did we see in this last 12 hours?
Some great physical obstacles.
Yeah.
Shelter building.
Yes, we do shelter on demand. As the teams are moving, we have a high desert environment to work with here and a mountainous woodland environment. So we're doing our shelters on demand for this time with the equipment that they have, and it forces the competitors to think really outside of the box on how to create a shelter, emergency shelter. We've seen a lot of first aid incorporated into our shooting scenarios. We've been very fortunate to have compression dummies, so we can do CPR and chest compressions. So that's been incorporated into the shooting scenarios at the end, usually with evacuation or some sort of first aid model with it. So overall, it's been very physical, but also very relevant to a lot of the things that you may have to do, chest compressions for 2 minutes or something like that in real life. So we're doing that here.
Well, we've added a brand new scenario this year, the Evolve scenario.
Yes, yeah, we ran the Evolve scenario. That's where the competitors worked up from throwing tomahawk, to bow and arrow, and then to precision rifle. And the whole time they had to carry a sandbag. And they couldn't put the sandbag down on the ground, so they're throwing the tomahawk, carrying a sandbag, put the sandbag down to shoot the bow, but they had to pick it up to go get their arrows and stuff. So the physicality of it was always there. So that was kind of neat. We'll be running that one a few more times too. That's only open during the daylight hours. It's a precision rifle, precision shooting. So we'll see more of that tomorrow. So that's it. We're about to transfer some teams here in the next couple of hours and flip their arena. So we're looking forward to that. We are picking up Team DNR as we speak. So they'll be coming out of the arena here, and they did a fantastic job. And those of you who are watching at home, family and friends of DNR, should be very proud of them. They did a fantastic showing here in the STVIII Sundowner, and we hope to see them back too. Okay, so we'll be back. Hopefully not within another 12 hours. A little bit faster than that. But with how the rest of the arena is doing, you can interact with us directly on Facebook and post your questions there. We do our best to get back as quickly as possible. Things are slowing down now, so we can start to kind of catch our breath a little bit and answer some questions. We'll post some pictures and stuff like that too. We also want to thank our sponsors for this Sundowner. Mossberg has sponsored 2 590 Flex shotguns that are a golden basket prize. So we actually have one competitor now. He's kind of circling around it, trying to figure out how to get up to it. It's up on a pretty steep incline. It's really only one good way to get there, and he's not on it right now. So we'll see what happens there. We want to thank Hornady. Hornady is our Guardian sponsor. We'll have more of the Hornady stage here with some video and photos up. I had a lot of good competitors negotiate that. That was a very difficult one. That was MS-13. So we'll get some more on that. And also Team Hornady, who's still in the arena, and they're still moving pretty strong. And we're about to pick them up and transfer them to a different location in the arena. So we'll get more on Team Hornady there. I want to thank MyTopo for our maps. Our maps are the heart, the core of the survival trial. They're very detailed, and they really are an asset to us and to the competitors out there. Our official apparel sponsor for survival trials, STVIII Design, STVIIIdesign.com, and that's we're wearing right now, and it's cold. I mean, for us, we stand around. We don't have the luxury of running, except for short periods of time, and we're running scenarios and stuff. So we're very thankful to have what we do here. The NRA Whittington Center. That's the home of the survival trial, and we couldn't do. We wouldn't want to do it any other place. It's such a beautiful, ruggedly challenging, beautiful terrain. So it's everything wrapped up into one. That's NRAWC.org. And Professional Marksman Incorporated for our marksmanship instruction, and our evaluators will want to train up and stuff like that. So we want to thank all of our sponsors. We want to thank you too for watching and for following, and we hope that you meet us back here in about 3 to 4 hours.
We should thank track leaders too for the maps that we can look at online and follow.
Yes, thank you. Trackleaders.com. And that is really a key integral piece for the survival trial. Because right now, as like off camera here, I'm checking our map to make sure that we're still covering down on teams and our evaluators and things like that are moving around, and everybody's okay. So trackleaders.com, we're very, very, very fortunate to have them as part of the survival trail. Okay, so we'll see everybody back here in about 4 hours.